Welcome, my dear friend. There's something deeply important I need to share with you today, and I can't wait for the perfect moment, because in a way, you're already ready to hear it. Listen closely. God is incredibly proud of you. Not because you've always been perfect, not because you followed every rule or stayed calm in every situation, and certainly not because you kept the faith even when it seemed like everything was working against you. No, God is proud of you because you kept growing, even when it would have been so easy to give up. You kept moving forward, even when every part of you wanted to stop, even when the world around you told you it would be easier to quit and just let go. That's the real reason why you are where you are today. Perhaps in the past, you never heard these words. Maybe no one ever said them to you when you were young, when you did the right thing despite shaking hands or gave everything you had left, even though you didn't receive anything in return. Maybe no one noticed when you quietly chose love, even when anger and revenge seemed so much louder. But heaven noticed. This is something you need to reflect on today. Nothing good that you've done has ever gone unnoticed. You've walked with a sense of spiritual integrity that doesn't beg for applause, that doesn't demand recognition. You've been breaking cycles, healing wounds, and holding peace in places where anger once reigned. You've made choices that weren't always easy, without knowing if you'd ever receive anything in return. And yet, every time you did, you built something that will last forever. You built something eternal. God doesn't care about appearances, my friend. You don't gain divine favor by performing your pain for the world to see. That's not what this journey is about, and it's certainly not who you are. You're not being honored for suffering quietly. You're being honored for rising in truth, for being real when things seemed impossible, for staying true to your light when everyone around you thought it was weakness. You felt everything. You felt every heartbreak, every failure, and every moment of doubt. And despite it all, you returned to love, not the fleeting emotion, but the deep, unshakable choice to love, to choose peace, to choose joy. Do you have any idea how rare that is? There's a sacred power in someone who can walk through fire without allowing the flames to consume them. In someone who can look at cruelty, see it for what it is, and still choose not to pass it on. That kind of strength, that's something no sermon or textbook could ever teach. And whether you realize it or not, you've been carrying that power. That's the kind of strength you possess, the kind of strength the divine cherishes. You've shown God more about faith than most people ever will. Why? Because your faith didn't come from comfort. No. It was forged in the places where nothing made sense, where it seemed like there was no way out. Yet you still didn't give up on the story of your life. That's why the blessings coming your way now feel different. They're not just part of a cosmic cycle. This moment, this season, is all about your truth finally being louder than your struggles. Your truth, the real, raw, unshaken truth of who you are, is what's ringing out now after all those years of silence, after all those quiet moments when no one saw the battles you fought. You earned this, not just because you worked hard, but because you stayed true to yourself when no one else understood. Through late nights, through sacrifices that nobody saw, through moments when you did the right thing simply because it aligned with your spirit, not because you'd get anything in return. And now something has shifted. That quiet light you've been nurturing all this time, it's beginning to shine brighter. That peace you used to struggle to hold on to, it's starting to come to you more easily, with less resistance. People, even strangers, are beginning to feel something around you, something they can't explain. And no, this isn't just a coincidence. This is the fruit of a soul that didn't quit. This is the result of a spirit that never gave up, no matter what. And I know that right now, you might still be unsure. Maybe you're still getting used to the idea that happiness can come to you without chaos tagging along. Maybe joy still feels foreign, like something you used to know but forgot along the way because survival took priority. But that's okay, because joy is coming back to you now. It's not because you finally perfected the art of manifestation, or because you said the right words in prayer. No, it's because even in your doubts, God never doubted you. The divine knew exactly what it was doing when it placed that spirit within you, when it gave you the vision to see deeper, the heart to feel more, and the voice that carries more power than you might realize. You are what healing looks like in motion. You are what integrity looks like in a world that often values performance over truth. You are the embodiment of walking with your source in a world that has forgotten what it means to remember. And let me tell you, it hasn't been easy. The most sacred transformations never are. You've walked through nights when sleep wouldn't come. You've faced mornings when the only thing you wanted was to stay in bed and pretend the world didn't exist. And there have been moments when every part of you wanted to fight back, to retaliate, but instead you chose to release, to let go. And that version of you, the one who fought quietly, the one who endured, the one who surrendered without quitting, this is the version that heaven celebrates. It wasn't the perfect you, not the polished version of yourself that you show to the world. No, heaven celebrates the honest you, the one who struggled, the one who stayed despite the odds, the one who chose love even when it seemed like the hardest thing to do. And here's the truth. You don't need to earn your seat at the divine table anymore. You've already built it, with your resilience, with your love, with the choices you made to keep going when you had every reason to sit down and give up. Now that seat is being prepared, not because you asked for it, but because the God who watched you through every battle is now placing honor in your hands. And no, it's not a favor, it's a response. Here you are, standing at the threshold of a life that finally acknowledges your worth. I know it might feel a bit strange, this sense of ease. It might feel unfamiliar. Doors are opening without a battle. People are recognizing your value without you first having to prove your pain. But let me tell you something, and I want you to hear me clearly. It's your time now, not just for peace, but for joy. Not just to survive, but to thrive. There's a world of difference between merely getting by and actually being blessed. For so long you've known what it's like to endure, to push through, to survive. But now you're about to remember how to receive. And that shift, my friend, doesn't come just with the passing of time. It happens when alignment finally matches your identity. It happens when your soul, no longer playing small, begins to fully embrace its greatness. Make no mistake, your presence is powerful. You're not just a glimmer of light in someone's dark world. You are the proof that a soul can be soft and unbreakable, that someone can lose everything and still rise again without becoming bitter. You embody a kind of grace that makes people question their own facades, a kind of truth that doesn't need to scream to be heard. And now, the universe is responding to you, not just in subtle whispers and signs, but in real, tangible shifts. Opportunities are finding you without effort. Relationships that don't drain you just to feel validated. Paths that once seemed blocked are now clearing before you. Not because it's finally easy, but because you've become ready. You didn't skip any of the steps that got you here. You lived every moment of this story. And let me say it again. Don't let anyone make you feel like you need to explain that. You don't owe anyone the recounting of your scars to earn their respect for your strength. You don't owe anyone a breakdown of your journey to validate the destination you've reached. Let them wonder. Let them question how you made it here. God saw it all. Every silent prayer, every moment of restraint, every decision you made not to return to the version of yourself that once begged for crumbs when you were born to feast. You've grown in ways that can't be measured by any algorithm or captured by any camera. You've expanded at your core, and now everything around you is about to feel different. Not because the world has changed, but because you have. Your discernment is sharper. You no longer entertain what drains you. You no longer chase what confuses you. You've learned what peace feels like, and that's why you no longer tolerate the chaos that once seemed normal. And here's the thing, this isn't about being above anyone. It's simply about stopping yourself from shrinking beneath who you truly are. That, my friend, is what spiritual maturity looks like. It's not about some grand, dramatic arrival. It's about the quiet refusal to shrink, about the subtle choices to stay true when it would be easier to compromise. It's about knowing deep down that your value doesn't fluctuate based on who recognizes it or not. Now, the rewards aren't just on their way, they're already here. You can feel it in the way your body feels safer to live in the way your spirit feels more at peace. You don't need to be understood anymore to feel whole. You've learned that the real reward isn't just what's coming, it's who you've become while waiting. Let that sink in. This isn't just a new chapter in your life. It's an entirely different book. The rules are not the same. The version of you who sought everyone's approval doesn't hold the pen of this story anymore. The version of you who confused loyalty with self-betrayal doesn't get to decide what comes next. You do. And the hand that now holds the pen was kissed by God long before it ever knew the power it carries. So go ahead, write boldly, live truthfully, choose with confidence, not because you've never faced failure, but because every fall has been a rehearsal for your rise. Every decision, every heartbreak, every lonely moment, every time you picked yourself up and started again, even when you were still hurting from the last fall. It was all counted. It was all held. It was all sacred because God is proud of you for persisting, for showing up, for being present. It's not because you were fearless. It's because, even with fear, you moved forward. And let me remind you, heaven is already applauding. You've earned more than just survival. You've earned honor, and honor is already here. Thank you for being part of this journey with me. If you found value in this message, please like the video and share it with others who may need to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe and continue your amazing journey by watching one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you. I'll see you there.